Let's do some rate calculation, shall we? How do you calculate your rate on your ECG? We have different methods of calculating your rate. So there is this formula that we use. We have 300 divided by big N. When your big N is what? Is representing your big boxes. All right. Remember when we talk about small boxes and big boxes, you can actually refer to that video and then understand it better if it's your first time. And then we also have 1005 divided by small n, where our small n is our small boxes. All right, what that means is that you take an ECG paper like this, you identify an R wave, identify another R wave. Okay, then if you want to go the big boxes way, you count the big boxes in between. So if you get an R and another R, which is your RR interval, and let's say you get 3 big boxes between them, what will your rate be? It will be 300 divided by 3, which will be 100 beats per minute, as you can see over here. Now if you are going the 1005 way, which is usually recommended because you will not always have your readings falling on big boxes, so to be on the safer side, you go with the small boxes. Okay, if you want to use the small boxes, you already know that every big box has 5, so you don't really have to do too many calculations. Just look at your big boxes, then you multiply those by 5. So if it's 3 big boxes, you know that there is 5 small boxes in every big box. So when you are going the small boxes way, you will have 5 times 3, which will be 15. You divide your 1005 by 15, you will still get 100, just like you're saying. Now another way is that if you know the length of your strip, some of the papers will come with a bold indication. Well, this is a 5-second strip, or this is a 10-second strip. If you know what your strip is, if it's 5 seconds, what do you need to do? You know that rate is calculated in 60 seconds. That is 1 minute. So what are you going to multiply by your 5 to get 60? That is 12. So what you do is you count the R primes, the R waves in that strip, and multiply by 12, and that gives you your heart rate. Let me take that again. If you know that your reading strip is 5 seconds, count the R waves in the reading strip. We usually use the lead 2. We usually use lead 2 as our reading strip. Okay, that is what we use. So if you know that is 5 seconds, that means your AV1, lead 1, all the 12 leads, they are 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. And also your reading is not, regular, then you can just count the R waves in between and multiply by 12, and that will give you what? Your heart rate. So if the R waves there are 7, you are going to multiply 7 by 12, and that will give you what? I think 84, isn't it? Right? Now if you know that it is also 10 seconds, because some can be 10, if it's 10, then what multiplied by 10 gives you 66. So you count your R waves in your 10-second strip, and you multiply by 6 to get your heart rate. So if the R waves there are 5, you're going to multiply 5 by 6, and that will 30. And if it's 30, what does it mean? It is what? A bradycardia. But is it sinus? Well, do on sinus reading to tell whether it's a sinus bradycardia. Okay, but to be on the safer side, just go by your 1005 divided by the small n. That will never fail you. And don't always rely on the interpretation of the ECG machine. I am not saying that don't let it guide you. It can guide your judgment, it can guide your thoughts, but don't over rely on them, especially when it comes to heart rate. Do your manual calculation and you may never go wrong. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Our new subscribers, just our first time watchers, thank you for choosing our channel. Thank you for engaging with us. Your feedback is very, very important. let us know what your thoughts are. And our returning subscribers, we are always grateful for your coming, and we will see you in another video.